Hey everybody, it's Eugene Liscio and welcome to Click 3D. This is the program where we talk about how we can use simple technologies like your mobile phone to create realistic photogrammetry models. And I'll be discussing tips, tricks, and different kinds of things that you can do. So this one is an example where I've taken a GoPro and instead of taking images, I've taken video, but I've just put it on a pole. So I know drones are really popular with a lot of people, but in some areas, you might be good enough to just use a pole. So I've experimented with this several times with video and both with still images. One method you could use if you just wanted to use a digital still would be to use the time lapse on the GoPro and basically set it for every second or every couple of seconds, and it'll just fire a higher resolution shot. But I can also use video. So I'll let you look at what I'm doing here, and maybe I'll give it a little description. I'm hoping this is going to play here. Okay, so it's not great, but you'll see that there's a little bit of wobbliness there, and part of that comes from the rolling shutter. And then what I've done is I've taken a path from side to side and slowly walking forward. And you'll see I go over to the next side and sort of in a zigzag motion across the roadway. And I found that this works pretty well. Now I'm not moving very fast because in this one, I think I was only using, the regular frame rate, about 30 frames per second or so. And it can sometimes be a little tricky with the camera on top of on top of a pole kind of thing. And the GoPro is kind of small, so it can move around pretty easy. If you have something heavier, I guess it has a little bit more inertia. But you see here that I'm just walking down the roadway, not doing anything too crazy, just making sure that I keep this zigzag motion. And the zigzag motion allows for a lot of overlap side to side. Another approach that you could use here would be to walk straight up and down the roadway 3 times, like starting on the left side of the road, then starting on the right side of the road, and then once in the middle, and you'd have 3 sets of overlapping images. Now, if you walk just straight down the road and you just try to use one set of images, it's not the best. Okay, what you want to do is try and have like you had 3 cameras going down the roadway at once. And you'll see here, I drew a straight line back. I just walked straight back, and then I've got a whole bunch of images here. Now, of course, I only walked with the camera facing one way down the road, and then you see I bring it down here. All right, there we go. I'm just going to play this again. All right, so I'm going to stop here. And one thing you could have done that I was talking about in the previous section is, as you're walking down the road, you can also turn around and come back the other way. So you get some really good overlap, and then you get basically perspectives from both sides of the roadway. Now that's only useful really if, for example, the car that was off to the side, I moved one way, so you'll see one side of it will work well when it gets reconstructed, but the back side where I didn't have anything is just going to be a mess. It's just going to try and fill in the holes or whatever, and it's not going to look that great. So making sure you get good coverage with the video camera isn't all that difficult. Just move around, and it's super, super quick. Hopefully you learned something with respect to video, and we'll see you next time on Click 3D. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.